Hi guys, in this video I'm going to show you this 3D printed gearbox that I made using FreeCAD for my robotic arm. So first I will show you how to assemble the 3D model, then I will show you the FreeCAD design, then I will also show you where this 3D printed gearbox is used in my robotic arm. So let's get started. So now I'm going to show you the 3D models. Let us go one by one. So first I have this enclosure. The enclosure is about 70 cm in length. It has 4 screw holes for mounting a cover lid on top. It has 3 screw holes for mounting a servo. This is the cover lid. It just fits on top and it has to be screwed up. And then I have a screw. The screw is about 3 mm in width. And next I have the spur gear. The spur gear is a 32th spur gear. And next I have a worm gear. The worm gear is a 3-tooth worm gear. The worm gear has servo attachment attached to it. So this is a 3-tooth worm gear and this is a 32th spur gear. So we are having a gear ratio of about 30:3 that reduces to 10:1. So the torque increases by 10-fold. What is the purpose of increasing the torque, you ask? It is so that this gearbox can handle heavier weights. And then next I am using a MG995 servo. If you notice that there are just 2 wires coming out of the servo, it is because the circuit of the servo stopped working. So what I did was I just connected 2 wires to the motor of the servo directly. And then I am powering the whole thing up with a 12 volt DC adapter. The DC adapter has a current rating of about 1.5 ampere. So I guess that's it about the circuitry. So now I am going to assemble the entire thing. So first I am just attaching the servo to the worm gear. And then next I am going to mount the servo to the enclosure. And then I am going to screw it up. So now we have mounted the servo to the enclosure. So next I am going to split the spur gear. Then I am just going to put the enclosure cover lid on top and I am going to screw it up. So now we have assembled the entire gearbox. Next thing is just powering it up. As you can see, I have my 12 volt DC power supply right here. So I am using a 12 volt DC connector to connect the power supply to the servo. So I did a soldering mistake here. As you can see, I have soldered both female header pins to the DC connector. The servo wire also has female header pins. So what I am going to do is just I am going to use 2 male jumper wires to connect them both. The way we connect the wire does not matter here. Even if they interchange, just the direction of rotation will be changed. And that's because I have directly linked the 2 wires to the motor of the servo. So I'm just going to connect the DC connector to the power supply. And then now so you may have noticed a few things about this gearbox, that the motor is rotating slowly. So that's because we have exchanged torque for RPM. We have increased the torque by 10-fold in exchange for our RPM, which we have decreased by 10-fold. So now I'm going to show you the FreeCAD design. So I have designed this entire model using FreeCAD only. This is the worm gear, this is the spur gear, this is the enclosure, and this is the cover for the enclosure. You can see inside. So there are 2 things I want to say here. First thing is that you must drill holes in the enclosure for mounting the servo, and you must do the same in the worm gear for mounting the servo attachment. And in my initial design I made a mistake here. I filleted at the wrong edge. This will also be reflected in my 3D print, but I corrected that design now. If you are interested in this model, you can download it from Thingiverse. It is freely available in Thingiverse. I have the link in the description. So now I'm going to show you where this gearbox is truly used. What is the purpose of this gearbox? So this is my robotic arm. As you can see, I know the drawing is not nice, but please bear with me. So this gearbox should be placed in the upper arm, in the bicep. So what I tend to achieve using this gearbox is a rotational motion so that the hand could be rotated. I think this could be better understood if I show you. So I have got this toy arm here. So what motion I want to achieve is that this kind of motion, this kind of rotational motion. So now we have reached the end of the video. I want to say a few things. First thing is that this is my first time voice recording a tutorial. So if you have any inconveniences, you can say that in the comments. And the second thing is that I'm just a beginner in these things, especially in 3D printing. I'm not an expert. So if you find any mistakes or find something that could be done better, you could say that in comments too. And thanks for watching.